That teenagers, they have crazy sleep habits, but health experts are increasingly concerned that sleep deprivation is threatening teens' physical and their mental health. Well, the authors of Generation Sleepless back that research up, saying that teenagers are the most sleep deprived population in human history and that changes need to happen now.
So teenagers today are facing what we describe as a perfect storm of factors that steal their sleep. They've got technology and social media, they've got academic overload, they've got so many activities on their plate. They actually have a natural delay in their sleep. That's a developmental delay, so they want to go to bed later and wake up later, and then in the morning they have too early start times, so they basically have shrunken sleep to the point where they're now in the worst sleep crisis of any of us.
So, how much sleep does the average teenager get right now? And how much should they be getting?
It's a myth that teenagers need a lot less sleep than younger kids. And parents are really surprised to hear that teens optimally to 10 hours. 8 hours is considered adequate. Most high schoolers these days get about 6.5 hours of sleep. So you can do the math and figure out how much sleep they're losing every single week, and that really adds up.
So how do we motivate our teens to get more sleep, to get to sleep? I mean, if they are working against like the natural processes, what can we do?
Changing high school start times is a really important piece, and that's been legislation has been kind of going across the country. In California here we have a law that goes into effect in the fall where we cannot start before 8:30. So that's progress for sure, and other states are considering it. So moving high school start times, starting to work with technology companies to be at least thinking about responsibility for being more health friendly, sleep friendly, easier to turn off if you choose, so not quite as addictive and engaging for children. I mean, we're talking about teenagers, needing a little more help with that from technology companies.
I love that Heather led with all of those things, because the last thing we want to do is make parents feel like we're pointing the finger at them for a problem that they really can't change all of those things that Heather just mentioned. They can be activists and try, but in the home, one of the things we like best, Heather and I are both therapists in addition to being sleep specialists, and we know if you're a parent of a teenager that you can't anymore just tell them what to do or tell them why and they'll just do it. So we work with a lot of families on really helping them listen actively to their teens, listen for things that they care about that are related to their sleep. They might say they want to do better in school or at a sport or some activity. They might say they don't like the way they look. They might say they just don't feel well. And these are opportunities to really listen and let them know you're empathizing and understanding, and sort of work sleep into the conversation. But it's got to ultimately feel like their idea, not something that you're telling them to do.
That's a really good point. And it is also a really important time, right, to give our kids that autonomy, like not to try to fix everything as parents, but let us step back and watch them and help them do the problem solving. So how can we help them establish good bedtime and morning routines without being too
So the easy way to think about this is that teenagers need less light in the evenings and more light in the mornings. So in the evenings, turn down the lights in your house. That can make a really big difference. And then in the morning, what a lot of people don't realize is how powerful the morning sun is. Even in the winter, on a cloudy day, the sun is extremely powerful and our brains are really attuned to it. So it's like pressing go on the brain to have morning sun. It helps you feel better, helps you feel more alert, do better in school, all that, and it helps you fall asleep that night. So it's really important to get that morning sun.
In regards to bedtime routines and morning routines, you all have a pretty kind of a passionate view on this change that's being proposed to daylight savings, right?
We do, and we are in accordance with sleep scientists the world over. What happens with daylight saving time is that teenagers who now we know that they're already going to bed too late and they're being forced to wake up too early. With daylight saving time, they're going to go to bed even later. And when they have to wake up in the morning, it's going to be dark. In some parts of the country, the sun might not rise until about 9:30 in the morning. So daylight saving time really is harmful to teenagers, and it's actually harmful to all of us. We all lose sleep and we never get it back. So we're definitely in favor of going back to standard time, which puts us in sync with the sun and with Mother Nature and with what our bodies really want to do.
Fingers crossed for that. Well, coming up next.